I'm going to lay the context, in a very simple manner, and then we are going to look at certain aspects of scaling the practice on which these two gentlemen are going to weigh in. So here the context is, as far as advisory is concerned, if you look at financial services uh, worldwide, in fact, it has always been an incidental advice kind of a practice where the remuneration comes in the form of a commission or a brokerage or any other fee that you can think of. For the longest period of time in India also, it has always been like that. And that there was a change to that in 2013 when SEBI introduced a investment advisor regulation. And from that point onwards, the investment advisor, in at least in India, it is a fee only kind of a practice. In various parts of the world, there are various variations to an RIA practice. So here, it's a comparatively difficult kind of practice, which we all know, because there are all these people who are claiming to do advisory, and they're not charging anything. So the very difficult question we are all posed is, why should I pay for when I'm getting the advice for free? So, there are elements in the advisory practice which are actually slightly difficult to put forward. We are all here 12 years from the time the investment advisor regulation has come in, and we are all here. We have all taken the bull by the horns, and we have been able to put down roots, and we have been able to grow to some extent. There have been certain market externalities also, which have also played a part in stunting the kind of growth that we could have actually achieved. So one of them is also, I would call it regulatory. There are certain elements in the regulation which kind of made it difficult for advisors to scale up and grow. The good news, I think all of you are very much aware, is that the regulations, at least certain portions of the regulations, are going to loosen up. That is what we hear, and it is probably laying the ground for a very good growth for us going forward. Okay, so that is the context. Now, if we look at the other context, as far as especially for India is concerned, we are actually in a good place at this point in time. If you look at the number of billionaires that are there in the globe, we are at number three currently at this point in time. If you are looking at the number of millionaires that are going to be there, we are already at 8.5 lakhs or so, and by 2027 it is expected to be about 16 and a half lakhs, which is 1.65 million dollar millionaires. So when the number of people who are wealthy are increasing, obviously there will be need for advice, and that is exactly where we come in. And we are probably at a good inflection point where we can actually, the regulations are changing, the people are becoming wealthier. I think we are probably at a good inflection point where from here we can actually scale up and grow. So with this context, I would start with asking these gentlemen to enlighten us on certain aspects which we can take up in our practices and try to scale up. So initial first thoughts from the two of you, based on whatever I have mentioned. First, you can go, Subbu.
So thank you, Suresh, for this opportunity to speak. Good evening and to everyone, and good evening, good morning to Edward. I don't know where he's located. So just to put in context, so I was going through the to understand how to scale up. I just wanted to understand where the registered investment advisors currently are placed, and in that context, when I just look back, you know, the mutual fund industry in India itself started in 1963, and we made these rules for investment advisors in 2013. That is 50 years of background was done in a very different way. The sense the mutual fund business had for a long time distributed their products in a certain way, and some changes were made in 2013. So you have a 50 years of backlog to really clear up in people's mind. Then you fast forward, you found public sector undertakings becoming mutual funds, I think roughly around 1987. and then the private sector mutual fund starting in around 92 or 93. So there is a big legacy issue in terms of how the products were distributed.